Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me now. A woman's brain, oh, it never stops. It don't take a break. It don't hit pause. It don't clock out at 5 o'clock. No, no, no. It keeps running, keeps thinking, keeps worrying, keeps planning. You see, while the world sleeps, she's awake. While you're resting, she's preparing. While you're unwinding, she's strategizing. And let me tell you something. This ain't a choice. This ain't some hobby. This is how she's wired. She's thinking about the kids, the bills, the meals, the laundry. She's remembering birthdays, appointments, school projects, doctor visits. And if you think she forgets anything, you don't know a woman's mind. She carries the weight of the world on her shoulders, and yet she smiles, she loves, she nurtures, she gives. Sometimes until there's nothing left to give, and even then she digs deeper. Now hear me on this. A woman, she don't ask for much. Just a little appreciation, a little support, a little understanding. So when she's quiet, don't assume she's fine. When she's tired, don't just walk past her. When she's holding everything together, don't let her do it alone. A woman's brain never stops working. From the moment she opens her eyes in the morning to the moment she finally closes them at night, if she even gets that luxury, it is in constant motion. It does not have an off switch, no pause button, no moment of true rest. Even in sleep, her mind is active, running through tasks, plans, and responsibilities like an endless to-do list. While the rest of the world may take a break, she doesn't get that privilege, because there is always something that needs to be done, something that needs her attention, something that only she seems to remember. She wakes up before the sun rises, not because she wants to, but because there's already 100 things to think about. Breakfast needs to be made, kids need to be ready, schedules need to be checked. She's thinking about what needs to be done before she even gets out of bed. And even if she tries to sit still for just a moment, maybe take a sip of coffee in silence, her mind won't let her. Did she pack everything for the kids' lunches? Did she confirm that appointment? Did she forget someone's birthday? The mental load she carries is heavy, but she carries it like it's second nature, like it's expected. And that's just the start of the day. As she moves through her morning, her brain is calculating everything, balancing work, family, household chores, and personal responsibilities all at once. At work, she's focused on deadlines, emails, meetings. But in the back of her mind, she's also thinking about what to cook for dinner, whether she paid that bill on time, or how she'll squeeze in time to help with homework. It's like she's running multiple programs at once, never shutting down, never crashing, just processing and processing, nonstop. Even in moments when she appears relaxed, she isn't. You see her sitting on the couch, she's making a mental grocery list. You see her on her phone, she's checking reminders, setting appointments, coordinating plans. Her body might be still, but her mind is racing at full speed, jumping from one task to another, predicting what's coming next, solving problems before they even happen. There is no luxury of being truly present in the moment, because she is always preparing for what's ahead. And it's not just about tasks, it's emotional too. She's thinking about everyone's well-being. She's wondering if her child is struggling at school, but too afraid to say it. She's replaying that conversation she had earlier, wondering if she hurt someone's feelings. She's worrying about her aging parents, about her spouse, about friends she hasn't checked in on. The weight of love, responsibility, and care sits on her shoulders, and she carries it all, because that's what she does. That's what she's always done. At night, when the world finally slows down, she should be able to rest, but does she? No. Her brain is reviewing the entire day, what she did, what she forgot, what she could have done better. Then it's on to tomorrow. What needs to be planned? What's the next thing to take care of? She's lying in bed, eyes closed, but her mind is miles away, running through checklists, forecasting problems, mentally preparing herself for another non-stop day. A woman's brain never stops. It is a machine that runs on love, on duty, on the unspoken expectation that she must keep everything together. It is not a choice, it is simply how she is wired. And the world? The world just keeps moving, expecting her to keep up, never asking if she's tired, never wondering if she needs a moment to breathe. But she doesn't complain. She doesn't stop. Because if she did, who would carry it all? While the world rests, a woman is still moving. When others clock out of their jobs, put their feet up, or switch off their minds, she's still running through everything that needs to be done. She doesn't have the luxury of truly unwinding because, even in stillness, her brain is sorting, organizing, and preparing. People assume that after a long day she gets to rest like everyone else. But the truth is, her day is far from over. The responsibilities don't end when the sun sets. In fact, for many women, the most demanding part of the day is just beginning. She gets home from work, but there's no pause, no transition into relaxation. There's dinner to be made, dishes to be cleaned, laundry to be folded. Maybe she helps with homework. Maybe she has to prepare for an early morning errand. Maybe she's just mentally planning out the next day's meals and schedules. While others sit down and unwind, she's making sure the house is running smoothly. Even when she finally sits, she's not truly at peace. Her mind is calculating the time left before bedtime, wondering what still needs to be done. And it's not just about household chores. She's balancing emotional responsibilities too. If her kids had a rough day, she carries that. If her spouse is stressed, she absorbs it. If a friend is struggling, she takes it on. She doesn't just handle tasks. She carries emotions, worries, and burdens that aren't even hers to bear. She's checking in on people, making sure everyone is okay. And if they're not, she's figuring out how to fix it, how to support them, how to keep things from falling apart. There's an expectation, an unspoken rule, that she must be the glue holding everything together. People rely on her, depend on her, and trust that she will manage it all. And she does. Day after day, night after night, because that's what she's always done. But that doesn't mean it's easy. That doesn't mean it doesn't wear her down. Because while everyone else gets to rest and recharge, she's still on duty, still thinking, still planning, still holding it all together. When she finally gets a moment to herself, it doesn't last long. If she sits down with a book, she's distracted by the thought of unfinished tasks. If she closes her eyes for a moment, she's reminded of an email she forgot to send. If she tries to do something for herself, guilt creeps in. Because there's always something more important, always someone else who needs her time. So even in her so-called free time, her mind is still at work, still prioritizing everyone else over herself. And let's talk about sleep, because even that is not truly restful. When she finally lays down at night, her brain doesn't switch off. She's replaying conversations, worrying about tomorrow, planning out next week. Her body may be still, but her mind is wide awake, running through unfinished tasks, thinking about what needs to be done. She might finally drift off to sleep, but even then, it's a light sleep, filled with restless dreams about everything she didn't get to finish. A woman doesn't get to shut down. She doesn't get to fully rest. While others are recharging, she's still operating, still thinking, still handling everything that needs to be done. The world may slow down at the end of the day, but she doesn't. Because if she did, if she truly took a break, who would keep everything moving? Who would make sure everything gets done? And so she keeps going. Because that's just what she does. A woman's mind is like a never-ending checklist, a constantly running system of reminders, schedules, and responsibilities. Every single day, from the moment she wakes up, she's tracking everything. Appointments, deadlines, school events, grocery lists, home maintenance, birthdays, bills, and 100 other things that most people don't even think about. She's the one remembering that the kids need their homework signed, that the doctor's appointment is next Tuesday, that the electricity bill is due before midnight. She's not just living in the present, she's thinking ahead, preparing for what's next before anyone else even realizes it needs to be done. She remembers the small things too, The little details that keep life running smoothly. She knows that the dog is due for his shots, that the car needs an oil change, that her child's favorite cereal is running low. She keeps track of shoe sizes, favorite colors, and the fact that the last time someone wore that sweater, they complained it was too itchy. And because she notices everything, she also anticipates needs before they arise. She knows when someone is about to run out of clean socks, when the fridge needs to be restocked, and when an upcoming holiday means she needs to start making plans weeks in advance. It's not just about managing her own responsibilities, she's keeping track of everyone else's as well. She knows when her partner has an important meeting, when her parents need help with something, when her best friend might need a call just to check in. She reminds the kids to finish their homework, helps them pack for a field trip, and keeps track of which parent is supposed to bring snacks for the soccer game. She's the behind-the-scenes operator, the one making sure that everything happens on time and without a hitch. And most of the time, nobody even realizes she's doing it. What's even more exhausting is that while she's balancing all these tasks, she's also managing the stress that comes with them. It's not just remembering the bills, it's worrying about whether they'll all get paid on time. It's not just keeping track of appointments, it's making sure they don't overlap, that transportation is arranged, that everything is coordinated. And if something does go wrong, she's the one who has to figure out a solution, because people have come to rely on her to fix things. Even when she asks for help, there's an added layer of responsibility. She can delegate a task, sure, but she still has to remind people to do it. She still has to double-check that it got done. If she asks someone to pick up milk from the store, she has to make sure they don't forget. If she hands off a chore, she has to remind them to complete it. The mental energy it takes to oversee everything is exhausting, and in many cases it feels easier to just do it herself rather than go through the effort of assigning, reminding, and checking up. People often wonder why women seem to be constantly tired, why they appear stressed even when nothing big is happening. It's because their minds never get a break. There's no moment of silence, no true relaxation, because the list of things to remember never stops growing. Even when she sits down for a minute, there's something tugging at the back of her mind, something she forgot, something that needs to be scheduled. Something she should start planning now to avoid problems later. A woman's mind is a living, breathing organizer. It doesn't rest. It doesn't slow down. And while she manages it all with grace, the weight of that mental load is heavier than most people realize. The world sees her as capable, responsible, dependable, but what they don't see is the constant strain of carrying so much, remembering everything, and ensuring that nothing falls apart. She doesn't just do it for herself, she does it for everyone around her. A woman carries the weight of the world on her shoulders, often without anyone noticing just how much she's holding. She's not just responsible for tasks, she's responsible for people. She carries the emotional, mental, and physical burdens of her family, her work, and her relationships, all while trying to make it seem effortless. She's the one people turn to when they need advice, when they need help, when they need support. And no matter how much is already on her plate, she finds a way to give, to provide, to hold it all together. She carries the worries that others don't think about. When her child comes home from school quiet, she notices. When her spouse seems distant, she feels it. When her friend sounds different over the phone, she knows something's wrong. She carries the weight of these unspoken emotions, processing them, trying to figure out how to help. It's not just about handling responsibilities, it's about carrying the emotional well-being of the people she loves, making sure they're okay, even when no one is checking in on her. A woman doesn't just carry her own burdens, she carries everyone else's too. She worries about whether her family is happy, whether her children feel safe and supported, whether her partner feels appreciated. She takes on their struggles as her own, feeling their pain, trying to ease their stress. And even when she's struggling herself, she pushes her own feelings aside, telling herself, "I'll deal with it later, because right now someone else needs her more." But the truth is, later rarely comes. She is the one who makes sacrifices, often without recognition. She gives up sleep to comfort a crying child. She sets aside her own dreams to make sure her family's needs come first. She rearranges her schedule, her priorities, her life, just to ensure that everything runs smoothly for everyone else. And the world has come to expect this from her, as if it's natural, as if it's simply her role, as if she was made to be the one who sacrifices, the one who bends so that others don't break. But carrying so much weight comes at a cost: the constant giving, the endless emotional labor, the invisible workload. It's exhausting. It drains her energy, her joy, her sense of self. And because she's so used to putting everyone else first, she rarely stops to acknowledge her own exhaustion. She tells herself to keep going, to push through, to be strong. Because if she stops, if she lets go, who will pick up the pieces? Who will take care of the things she's been holding together for so long? What makes it even harder is that people often don't realize how much she's carrying. They see her strength, but not the weight of it. They see her resilience, but not the exhaustion behind it. They assume she's fine because she always gets things done, always shows up, always keeps moving forward. They don't see the silent struggles, the moments when she feels like she's drowning, the time she wants to scream, but swallows her frustration because she doesn't want to burden anyone else. A woman carries the world on her shoulders, not because she has to, but because she feels she must. She loves deeply, she gives endlessly, she holds everything together with quiet strength. But the truth is, even the strongest people get tired. Even the ones who carry the most need someone to lighten the load. Because no matter how strong she is, no one can carry everything forever. A woman gives, sometimes until there is nothing left to give. She pours herself into her family, her work, her relationships, always ensuring that everyone around her is taken care of, before she even thinks about herself. She wakes up early to prepare for the day, not just for herself, but for everyone else. She stays up late, making sure that loose ends are tied, that tomorrow is set up for success. She gives her energy, her love, her time, her care, until she is running on empty. And even then, she digs deeper. It's not that she doesn't want to take a break. It's not that she doesn't feel the exhaustion creeping into her bones, but she has been conditioned by society, by experience, by love, to believe that putting herself first is selfish. So she keeps going. She tells herself, just one more thing, just one more task, just one more day. And before she knows it, those one mores add up to a lifetime of putting others ahead of herself. She doesn't complain, doesn't ask for anything in return, because she has convinced herself that this is simply what she's supposed to do. She gives her patience, even when she is stretched thin. She gives her kindness, even when she is met with indifference. She gives her time, even when there is no time left for her. She listens, supports, encourages, because that's what she does. When her child is struggling, she stays up late helping with homework, even though she has work of her own to do. When her partner is going through a rough time, she becomes their rock, even when she needs support herself. When a friend needs advice, she drops everything to be there, even when she is drowning in her own worries. The problem is, no one stops to ask her if she's okay. They don't check if she has enough left for herself, because she makes it look easy. She makes the giving, the sacrificing, the constant care look effortless. And that's the cruel irony of it all. The better she is at giving, the less people notice how much she's actually giving. They assume she's fine because she's always there, always strong, always holding everything together. But inside, she is tired, she is drained. And sometimes she wonders if anyone even sees it. She pushes past her own limits because she has no other choice. If she doesn't take care of things, who will? If she doesn't remember, if she doesn't plan, if she doesn't organize, things will start to fall apart. And the thought of letting that happen is unbearable. So she keeps going, keeps giving, keeps sacrificing, telling herself that she'll rest later. but later never really comes. Because as soon as one task is done, another takes its place. As soon as one crisis is averted, another is waiting. The cycle never stops. And the saddest part? When she finally does hit her breaking point, when she finally needs a moment to herself, people are surprised. They wonder why she's suddenly overwhelmed, why she's irritable, why she's shutting down. They don't realize that she's been running on empty for years, that she has given so much of herself away that there's barely anything left. And when she finally asks for help, for space, for understanding, it feels foreign to them, because they've never had to think about her needing those things before. A woman gives not because she has to, but because she loves deeply. But love should not mean depletion. It should not mean that she has to lose herself just to make sure everyone else is okay. Because even the strongest, most giving people need to be refilled. Even the ones who never ask for anything deserve to receive. Because if she keeps giving without ever being replenished, one day there will be nothing left to give. A woman carries the weight of expectations, unspoken, unseen, but always present. The world expects her to be strong but soft, independent but nurturing, ambitious but selfless. She is supposed to excel at work, keep the house in order, raise children with endless patience, support her partner, and still find time to take care of herself. She is told she can have it all, but no one tells her how much she will have to sacrifice to make it all work. No one warns her how exhausting it will be to constantly balance the impossible. The truth is, these expectations are relentless. If she focuses on her career, she is judged for not being present enough at home. If she dedicates herself to her family, she is told she should be doing more for herself. If she takes time for self-care, she feels guilty because there is always something that needs to be done, always someone who needs her more, and no matter how much she gives, no matter how hard she works, there is always this lingering pressure that she should be doing more, that she is never quite enough. She is expected to be calm, composed, and accommodating. If she raises her voice, she is emotional. If she asserts herself, she is too much. If she shows exhaustion, people wonder what's wrong with her rather than asking what she has been carrying. The world expects her to smile, to be the steady force in the storm, to handle everything without breaking. And because she has done it for so long, people assume it comes naturally. They don't see the effort. They don't see the nights she stays up late, worrying about things no one else even thinks about. They don't see the strength it takes just to keep going. And when she does break, when she finally reaches a point where she can't keep up anymore, people act surprised. They wonder why she is overwhelmed, why she is distant, why she seems different. They don't realize that she has been holding it together for so long that she no longer remembers what it feels like to let go. They don't see the quiet suffering beneath the surface, the exhaustion hidden behind her smile. Because when you are expected to be everything for everyone, you don't get the space to fall apart. You don't get the permission to say, "I can't do this today." The saddest part? She often internalizes these expectations. She convinces herself that she should be able to do it all, that asking for help is weakness, that slowing down is failure. She puts herself last because that's what she has been taught, to be selfless, to be giving, to be strong no matter what. And so she keeps going, even when her body is tired, even when her heart is heavy, even when every part of her is screaming for rest. Because in her mind, stopping means she is letting people down. Stopping means she isn't enough. But no one, not even the strongest, most resilient woman, can carry endless expectations forever. At some point, something has to give. At some point, she has to realize that she is not a machine, that she is human, that she deserves the same care and grace she so freely gives to others. But the world doesn't tell her that. The world just keeps asking for more. And because she has always risen to the challenge, it assumes she always will. A woman carries the weight of expectations, the pressure to be everything at once. And yet, Despite it all, she keeps showing up. She keeps giving, keeps loving, keeps trying. But even the strongest hearts grow weary. Even the most giving souls need to be poured into. Because when the world expects everything from her, who is making sure she has anything left for herself? A woman is expected to be strong. Not just strong in the way the world sees strength, lifting heavy burdens or fighting visible battles, but strong in ways that go unnoticed. She is expected to hold herself together when everything around her is falling apart. She is expected to be the steady force in a home filled with chaos, the voice of reason in a world that never stops demanding more from her. Strength is not just something she possesses, it is something that is required of her every single day, without fail. But this kind of strength comes at a cost. Strength for a woman does not mean she is unbreakable. It means she carries her pain in silence. It means she smiles through her exhaustion. It means she picks herself up time and time again, even when no one offers a hand. And because she has been strong for so long, people forget to ask her if she is okay. They assume she can handle it, that she doesn't need support, that she doesn't feel the weight of everything pressing down on her. But just because she carries it well does not mean it isn't heavy. The world praises her resilience, but rarely considers what it takes to maintain it. They admire how she keeps going, how she never gives up, how she takes care of everyone else without asking for anything in return. But they don't see the toll it takes. They don't see the nights she lies awake, exhausted but unable to rest. They don't see the moments she retreats to the bathroom just to breathe, just to have a moment where no one is asking her for something. They don't see how tired she really is, because she has been conditioned to hide it. She has been taught that her strength is her greatest asset, but no one ever told her that it would also be her greatest burden. Because when you are always strong, people forget that you too need a break. They forget that you too have limits. They forget that just because you can carry the weight of the world does not mean you should have to. And so she keeps carrying it, not because she wants to, but because she feels there is no other choice. Because if she doesn't do it, who will? The world tells her to be everything at once, soft yet unshakable, nurturing yet independent, loving yet tough. She is supposed to handle it all with grace, never complaining, never breaking. And if she does falter, if she dares to admit that she is struggling, she risks being seen as weak. The same world that applauds her strength does not know what to do with her vulnerability. The same people who rely on her do not know how to handle her when she finally says, "I can't do this alone." And so she keeps moving forward. She keeps holding everything together because that is what she has always done. But deep down she wonders, who will be strong for her? Who will carry her when she can no longer carry herself? Who will remind her that she is allowed to rest, to step back, to take a breath? Because no matter how strong a woman is, no matter how much she can handle, even the strongest ones need someone to lean on. Even the ones who never ask for help deserve to be taken care of too. A woman is expected to be strong, but strength is not just about endurance. Strength is also knowing when to stop, when to say no, when to demand the same love and care she gives so freely to everyone else. Because real strength is not about carrying the weight alone. It is about knowing that she shouldn't have to. A woman rarely gets the chance to rest, not truly, not fully. Even when she sits down, even when she closes her eyes, her mind is still running. It is making lists, planning for tomorrow, replaying conversations from the day, worrying about things no one else is even thinking about. Rest is not just about closing your eyes, it is about letting go, about feeling at peace. And that is something a woman struggles to do because the weight she carries does not disappear when the day ends. It follows her, lingers in her mind, keeps her awake at night. Even when she has a moment to herself, she cannot fully enjoy it, because in the back of her mind there is always something waiting, something unfinished, something that needs her attention. The laundry that hasn't been folded, the emails that need a response, the doctor's appointment that hasn't been scheduled. Even in stillness, she feels the pull of responsibility. Her body may be sitting still, but her mind is running a marathon. She is never truly at ease because there is always something that must be done. And it is not just about tasks, it is about emotions too. A woman does not simply go to sleep at night. She replays the moments of the day. Did she say the right thing? Did she do enough? Is everyone okay? Did she forget something important? She worries about things that no one else even notices. She carries the emotional weight of her family, her work, her friendships, absorbing their struggles, their worries, their pain, so much so that she rarely takes the time to check in on herself. The expectation that she must always be available, always present, always thinking ahead, it never stops. Even in her rare moments of peace, she feels guilty. If she takes a nap, she wakes up feeling like she wasted time. If she takes a break, she immediately starts thinking of how to make up for it. Rest does not feel like a right, it feels like a luxury she cannot afford. She has been conditioned to believe that productivity equals worth, that slowing down means falling behind, that rest is something she must earn rather than something she deserves. And yet, she knows deep down that this is not sustainable, that a person cannot run on empty forever, that no matter how much she cares, no matter how much she loves, no matter how much she gives, she is still human. She still needs time to breathe, time to think, time to simply exist without the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. But knowing this and allowing herself to do it are two different things. Because even when she tries to rest, her mind refuses to cooperate. Because for so long, she has been the one who takes care of everyone else. And when you are always the one who holds things together, it is hard to let go, even for a moment. She is so used to carrying the burden that the idea of setting it down, even temporarily, feels wrong. She fears that if she stops, even for a second, everything will unravel. But the truth is, the world will keep turning. The responsibilities will still be there when she returns. And more importantly, she is allowed to step back. She is allowed to rest. A woman deserves more than stolen moments of quiet. She deserves rest without guilt, peace without worry. Because a mind that never stops, a heart that always gives, a body that never rests, eventually something has to give. And the saddest part is, by the time she realizes it, she is already exhausted beyond repair. A woman's mind cannot relax because the world has never given her permission to, but maybe, just maybe, it is time she gives herself that permission. But here's the truth. A woman should not have to ask for permission to rest. She should not have to justify her exhaustion. She should not have to explain why she needs a break, why she needs support, why she needs someone to take some of this weight off her shoulders. She has done enough. She is enough. The world has spent too long expecting her to carry everything without complaint. Too long assuming she will keep going, keep giving, keep sacrificing, without ever needing anything in return. But even the strongest souls have limits. Even the ones who seem unshakable have moments when they need to be held, to be heard, to be understood. So hear me now. She is not a machine. She is not an endless well of patience, strength, and love. She is a human being. She deserves rest. She deserves care. She deserves to have moments of stillness, of joy, of peace, without feeling guilty for it. Because a woman's strength is not just in what she carries. It's in knowing when to set it down. It's in recognizing that she does not have to do it all alone. And if the world won't give her that space, then she must take it for herself. So to every woman out there who feels like she can't stop, who feels like she has to keep going no matter how tired she is, I see you, I hear you, and I'm telling you now, you deserve to breathe, you deserve to rest, you deserve to live, not just exist.